If you want to support the predator poachers catching the sickest both near and far, go to the pinned comment. If you're on Rumble, press the red join button to see over 30 videos early and uncensored for only $7 a month. We can't do this without your help, so join our locals.
How's it going?
Hi. Good, how are you?
Good, good. Is there a, how's it going? Is there a Jace that lives here?
Yes, there is.
Is he here? I got a package for him.
Okay, sure.
Cool. Thank you. How's it going? Hi. Nice to meet you, Jace. Jace.
Yep.
Cool, man. Package here for you. It's about some stuff on our Telegram. We should probably go over and yeah, Telegram, Instagram. You want to talk about outside? I'm cool. I'm cool to do it away from them, but some messages say between Lisa and you on Instagram.
I never talked to Lisa.
Oh, well, that's how we have everything saved. I just want to have a conversation with the dude. I know you're a good guy and you're 21. You're not some old dude.
I have no idea who Lisa is.
Okay, well, I just want to have a conversation with you about it, okay? Like, I'm not trying to bring this BS to your...
Right on there. Very public off community.
Dude, you're 21. If I was planning on doing that, I wouldn't be here talking to you, okay?
Why right on happened? You try to act or whatever, and then you call the cops.
Say it? Huh? Dude, I'm just here to talk. You're 21, dude. You're not some grown-ass man. I mean, you're an adult, but, like, you're not some guy with a van who's, like, 50 living in some shack. I mean, come on, man. Like, you're 21. You're still living at home. I actually wanted to just talk to you about it, okay? Truly. I mean, come on, Jason. Like, if you were older, yeah, I wouldn't be here talking to you. I wouldn't take the time to actually go talk to you. But since you are only 21, I'm, like, willing to just work through it, dude. So, I'd rather just do that. I mean, yeah, you're right. I do have everything saved, and yeah, could it go many ways? Yeah, of course. But like,
So you're telling me I've seen things like this.
right?
So you're telling me you aren't gonna call the cops after this? Shut up, make me confess stuff. Don't know what you're talking.
Okay, well, you obviously do know what I'm talking
No,
about.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know who Lisa is. I don't know what you're talking about. No.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter because your voice is on the phone or any of that. Your mom is obviously gonna ask some questions, and I'm
Can you show me like who?
who Lisa is.
Yeah.
This was a chick from 2023, but obviously,
Do a picture of the person or who?
do a picture of Lisa. That's not something I printed out, man.
'Cause I honestly don't remember this.
Okay. Well, that's fine. It's not just about Lisa, though. I'm just naming Lisa, but it's just more about what's been going on Instagram and Telegram and all this. Because, I think you're somebody who's actually a good kid. You're sucked into some bad things. People are sucked into...
To be honest, it's a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're probably gonna call the cops, and I probably deserve it, but I don't know who Lisa is. I don't know.
Okay. But are you actually out circling in elementary school in an ice cream truck? Okay, so like...
And I'll be honest, today I've been pretty.
Really? Do you want me to call him for that?
No,
Okay.
I don't know who Lisa is. I just,
Well, do you think this stuff is kind of making you depressed?
I don't know.
Do you think it's helping at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm supposed to go to counseling 1st of February
For just overall.
for everything.
Okay. Look, I mean, do your parents know that this has kind of been happening?
Well, they know. I've done, or not that, but I've had issues for,
Like with this type of stuff?
I don't know necessarily that, but it's years
Okay.
ago.
Just a lot of stuff going on. Okay. Well, this is obviously as you grow up into adulthood, and trust me, I was 21 too at one point. It's all about obstacles. It's not about, Jace, I mean, you live in a nice house, whatever. I mean, your parents seem to be cool to you, but it's about overcoming obstacles. Everybody has obstacles. Everybody from, you think Bill Gates lives some life of luxury. Yeah, of course he does. But he has obstacles. To, some hick living in Hopkinsville has obstacles. It's really how we respond to them. And, I mean, are you a firefighter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thank you for what you do. I have 2 uncles that are firefighters, so I mean, I take that seriously, man. Okay. You're a firefighter. You're doing good for the community. Dude, I could go up to every single one of your comrades in the firefighter place. They would all have some that's going on, right? Huh?
Not as bad as me.
Right. But they all have to overcome adversity. And you're no different than that. You have to overcome adversity too. Their adversity might be a death in the family. Their adversity might be their dog getting run over, I don't know. Your adversity is all mine. And that's what it is. That's part of it. I don't know if there's other stuff going on, dude. And, you're a grown enough man to where I don't want your mom to over here. If you want her out here, that's totally fine.
It's not going to, what's the change because the cops are going to come anyway. So.
Jace, you know that I came a long way to talk to you and that I didn't have to come here to talk to you. Like, I mean...
So I've seen things like this and always...
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. They'll catch a thing. Why? But obviously, do I look like Chris Hansen? I'm obviously not Chris Hansen.
Well, I've seen your shows. Or seen your... I don't know what you want to call it.
What are you talking about?
Your videos.
You know who I am?
I don't know who you are, but I think I've seen you anyway. You look familiar in the video.
Well...
What happens? You make them try to make them confess for something, whatever, and then...
Right, but you obviously... Okay, sure. But you only see what's posted. Okay? You don't see what's not posted.
Because I can be honest, I'm not going to be disrespectful. I don't want to be disrespectful,
Right.
but I could just tell you the leak, too.
Of course you could.
But I don't want to, whatever.
But
So I want to get help because that's what we're going to cancel.
Okay.
And and I want to...
Okay. So let's just say that, okay, you've seen this whole thing, whatever, right? But you only see what's posted. You don't see what's not posted. You don't know what goes on behind you. What's only shown is whatever, not me specifically, but whatever's shown is what people want to post, okay? So, I mean, you can go look. My stuff. Is there a lot of 21-year-olds on there? No, there's none.
I don't know. I'm not on the edges on there, so...
Okay. Well, you can probably see him in a trailer park driving some 96 beat down Toyota truck. They're not... Look, anybody younger than me, I have more leeway to. There's also people I don't talk to. You only see what's on camera. But what you don't see, we film everything for safety because I want to hurt you. You didn't hurt me. We know that. All that right. Make sure, but there's been 21-year-olds that we've caught before, and you can try to find them posted. I don't see it posted. So, I mean, I think there's a certain point where if say this happened 5 years in the future, where you're 26 living at your own place, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I would just come here and just yell in your face. Maybe you're right, I would. But or maybe I wouldn't give a shit about you 5 years down the line. Definitely 10 years down the line. But you're 21 and yeah, all I can say is you can print out some shit and confront me about what I was doing at 21. It might not be this stuff, but you can find a lot of shit that would happen when I was 21. So, obviously the same leeway happened with me, and
What do you mean leeway?
basically tough lessons were learned, but what happens at 21 shouldn't dictate the rest of your life. Now, if you tolerate story, but obviously I don't think you've done that. But there are certain levels to it. Yeah, if you wouldn't shut up at school, I'd say I don't get you. If you're 14, shut up at school, I'd be like, all right, that's the end of you. I don't give a lock them up forever, right? But especially with the internet nowadays, so much dopamine, the dopamine rush. It really is a problem that is, it isn't just a person, it isn't just a you problem, it's an internet problem too. And that's something I do want to work through with you. I'm giving you the opportunity of a lifetime to just say, hey man, let's
Well,
talk.
I don't want to, I'm not going to say something before I don't remember because I don't want any of the, because I already know what's going to happen. You're going to try to call the cops on me, and I'm not going to own up for say stuff because I don't know what you're, whatever. So,
Right, but you also,
if you do stuff, I will sue. So,
that's not the way to talk to me, dude, especially when I'm trying to come at you.
well, I already know what's going to happen. You try to make people confess. You try to make them say stuff while you're trying to film, and then you call the cops. And you can try to say no.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. You're not wrong, but every situation's different. If you were like I said, if you were some 50-year-old, like, yeah, I'd be like, all right, well, what's going on here? But this is obviously something that nobody's ever actually just talked to you about, okay? Because if you want to see like all this, there's a level of understanding that I have with a troubled kid, a troubled young adult like you, versus the 50-year-old man who's just been at this his whole life. You know what I mean? There is levels to it, okay? And, you know, actually, I think there is a way you can kind of help me out. I'll put these away. I don't think we need these. Well, no, hang on for now. I'll just put these away. There's a level of this. I think, you know, that you can actually kind of help me with stuff, as in, like, the Telegram groups. If you can find some grown-ass men kind of doing this, that's what I really care about. Yeah, whatever. You message some people. You messaged some people, real or not, on Instagram, whatever. I mean, can't really, I can't just, you can't undo that. I can't undo. The active on Telegram is what we need to kind of go at. How's it going, ma'am?
Tell me what's going on.
Do you want to, or?
Supposedly, blah, 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 and messaging somebody on Instagram. I don't know what it is. Back in 2023, so
Well,
I don't remember anything.
well, it's not just that, man, but, you know, obviously if Jason, when we're done here, if Jason wants to tell you what it is, and he can, if he wants me to tell you, I'll tell him, but, you know,
I'll tell you when you leave. I'll talk to him about it.
that's cool. Yeah, I mean, my name's Gordon. Gordon.
Yeah, but who are you? Who with who?
Well, we're the group called Kid Protectors USA. We just make sure kids don't talk to adults online, adults don't talk to kids, vice versa. And
Where are you out of?
I'm originally from Houston. That's where I live. So, but, you know,
And
just
how
online, some groups he was.
No, I don't want from the groups. So.
Okay, well, Jason, I'm willing to just talk to you. Or, do you want to tell? Do you just want to, like?
Go ahead. Because
Okay,
I'm lost.
fine. Well, there was just some, you know, ladies under 18 he was messaging, and they were messaging him, and there were some pictures, and there was just kind of some stuff happening, and, you know, we have like a lot of it saved, not all. And, you know, I understand he's also
that's
20.
in your folder there?
Correct.
Yeah.
I also understand he's only 21 years old. He's not, you know, he's not the 50-year-old man in an ice cream truck just going around, just, you know, being creepy like that. I understand that. You know, Gen Zers can struggle with, and they can struggle with, you know, a lot. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's something I'm willing to work through with him. And, you know, I understand he's a little bit paranoid because, you know, they walk in the house and then the cops come. I get it, man. I get it. But I also want him to understand too. I didn't have to, you know, I
Yeah,
could have always just, you know, have everything saved.
Yeah. I get that.
That's
Totally.
why I saved a minute a week ago.
Right. And he's also had some, well, I guess this is new to me, but he told me he has thoughts right here. I mean, if you want me to call an ambulance, we can.
No, because
Okay.
Ambulance?
nobody can help anymore. So
Well, Jace, how about this?
I can talk to people and nobody helps.
Jace, I'm not here to judge you. Obviously, if you've seen stuff like this, you know, a lot of people yell in their faces and this and that. You know, I'd be screaming at your mom like, you know, your son's this and that. I'm not about that, dude. Maybe if you were 40 living at home, I'd have a lot of stuff to yell about because that's just, that's a whole issue in itself. But you're actually a firefighter. A lot of these people that are quote unquote caught up are, you know, leeches. They're losers. And, you know, that's not something you want to categorize yourself with. That's something you want to separate from, okay? Because we all go through dark spots in life. Maybe your spot's darker than hers ever was and mine ever was, but we've all been there, man. We've all been there, okay? It's normal for a 21-year-old to go through stuff, okay? And I mean, like I said, I really appreciate that you're a firefighter, dude. Like I said, 2 uncles that are. So, I mean, like Jace, I'm willing to talk to you. I don't think the end all be all should be, I just have these messages and.
You have his messages from Instagram that he posted.
That's correct, yes. And it's more than just messages. There's pictures too and all that stuff. You know how guys are, you know, typical guy stuff. But yeah, I mean, Jace, like, I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna say like, you know, let's go to that field over there. But I am obviously, I don't want, I don't know, little sister. Or,
no, that little girl she's someone we babysit.
Okay, I obviously don't want her to overhear anything, and you know,
she's 4 and she'd never understand anything.
Sure.
But I mean, I understand what's happening, but I do know this is that we can't get him to talk to us at all. He won't say one thing if we ask.
Really?
So these thoughts, he's never told them to me, so just know that.
Okay.
We're trying to get him to go to counseling, but if he says he's going to go, that's news to me because he hasn't told me that. He's supposed to schedule it.
Sure.
Otherwise, yeah, the counselor said it wasn't legal for us to do it.
Right, because he's over 18 now, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jace, you know, I think I'm cool to just not even go over the Instagram stuff. I'm cool to just, you know, I'm cool with a look me in the eye, tell me it'll never happen again. But I need to. I mean, I don't mean it.
I'm wondering, is
but,
from 2023?
Right.
Like, so how long has it been going on? Like, how come have you not showed up here before this?
It's been a lot of stuff for a long time, and it just seems like it's reached a boiling point. But I'm willing to do that, Jace. I'm willing to just kind of say, look, you talk to the wrong people, not just me, but just you talk to the wrong people, like online. I see, because, you know, if you go fishing so many times for something, you're eventually gonna, you know, eventually one's gonna bite that you didn't mean to get, right? So, you know, Jace, I kind of want some help with the groups on Telegram. I won't. You can explain to her what that is after. That's cool with me. I want some help on the Telegram groups because, you know, this isn't about you. This is more like there's some real bad people online, and, you know, don't me, you know who they are, and this is more about, look, what would be the best option here, right? It's like, all right, if I'm trying to take down.
Did you at least talk decent?
Yes, I'm sorry.
That really offends me.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Thank you.
So it's just a very touchy subject. If I'm trying to take down something, like, and I see the thing right in front of me, which is like this, you know, if I want to destroy all the buildings, if I see a little small building right in front of me, but there's 10 buildings behind it that are way bigger and way more easy to destroy, and instead of destroying that first building, I can use that first building as leverage to go take down the other ones. It's not the best analogy, but you know what I'm saying here, right? Basically, put it this way, Jace, what would be the point of me going after one 21-year-old when this 21-year-old who actually has a life in front of him, who actually has a good career, I mean, a noble career, not just a good one. I mean, I know firefighters aren't, you know, you wouldn't be able to afford this house per se right now, but like, it's a very beautiful house, man. But you know, you do a great thing. Like, without you, I mean, people could die, you know? So put it this way too. Say whatever. Say exactly what you said is going to happen happens, which I'm not saying that. Say it does. So I potentially destroyed how many lives because you're not a firefighter anymore? Versus if you just get your together. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Versus if you just get your stuff together and you actually help me go after the real bad people, I think it's a win-win for all of us, man. Let's put it this way. Why take down the 21-year-old who's actually going to get this turned around? Or I'm not going to say you are going to get it turned around. I think you have the ability to. I think there's a chance you just don't get it turned around. There's a chance that it all goes to crap, and you know that. but there's also a chance you can't turn around. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you, except for my language around her. But, you know, I'm not sugarcoating anything. There's a chance you don't learn anything after today. There's a chance you go right back to it in a week. I've seen it before. But there's also a chance, too, that this is your wake-up call, okay? So why don't I, instead of just tearing down the 21-year-old with potential who actually has stuff together, why don't we go after the known evil, right? Why don't you help? Because I think if I talk to you today, this one little talk can turn into 10 bad people going down, okay? And you have the ability to help me with that. I get it. You're not going to know every single person, every single name. Who does? But there's some stuff you can point me to that definitely helps. And I can actually give you some insights on how we do it and what we do, okay? Because if I'm expecting you to be transparent with me, I'm going to be transparent with you, man, okay? And like I said, the firefighting thing's a big thing for me. Like, yeah, I was probably going to come here and talk to you anyway because you're only 21. But when I saw you were a firefighter, I'm like, okay, this can't be. These two worlds coming together doesn't really make too much sense. One of them,
it doesn't.
yeah, I mean, you can't serve the community and then partake in what could be a danger to it. And we need to get that. We need to get that hump out of the way. What county is this? Callaway. I didn't go to the Callaway County Fire Department and talk to you there. I didn't do it. Okay. It really would have put you on the hot seat, you know, not to make a fire joke. It would have put you on the hot seat, and there's a good chance that there'd be a lot to answer for in front of everybody. And that, talk about thoughts, man. If you are that right there, that would have been terrible. But I came here to your house. I mean, you have a mom who obviously wants to hold you accountable. But you're his mom, right?
Yes.
You obviously, I think you believe in holding him accountable, and you obviously care about him. So let's also.
He knows that. That's why he
Sure.
doesn't want me to.
Right. So let's be a grown-up today, okay? Not just young adult. Let's be a grown-up. Let's hold yourself accountable, but let's also make a difference in this. Let's also make this situation where you're down in the dumps, let's also turn it into something positive. You know how, you know what they say? I'm sorry to say this in front of you, but you know how can turn to diamonds? It can. That's at least a phrase I've heard. So this is your opportunity to do it, man. I'm willing to do it with you. I'm not willing to. If reading all of these is going to embarrass you, and if it's going to put you in a dark place, I don't get anything about you. I don't get anything in seeing a firefighter just off himself. That's not something I want to do. But what I can get out of this is, hey, you can point me in the direction of actual people doing this type of stuff. You can point me in that direction, and you know what? God, you know, it's the most optimal thing. The perfect situation is like everybody stops, but obviously they're not going to stop. But you can help me stop them. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should do it, Jace, because this is your opportunity, man. I'm willing to do it with you. I'm willing to just say, forget all the Instagram stuff. Let's just talk about what they're doing on Telegram. Let's just talk about how these people are doing it. That's what I'm wanting to do. That's what I'm wanting to do. Because obviously some fake decoy account is less severe than actual people producing and trading. You know what I mean? So I don't know, Mom, it might be a very sensitive conversation for you to have to listen to, because there's going to be some stuff discussed that's like, well, I'm sure your ears wouldn't want to hear it, but I think
She'll stay here.
that's fine. That's fine. Do you just want to go sit down there and talk then? Want to just do it here? Okay, can we at least close the door? So just.
I really need to watch over her. So
Okay.
I don't know for sure what to say, but do you really have to talk it over with him? Is this like I'm trying to get my brain wrapped around this whole deal?
No, it's not something that we have to talk over. Y'all could, of course, shut the door on me, kick me out, whatever.
No, I'm just
But-
saying. I know it's a wake up call, and I see that you do have all the evidence there. Does that
All they
belong
want
to
to do,
him?
all they want to do is try to make you say you did stuff, can't remember, and then they get called a cop and they try to get you in trouble.
Well, I already told you I'm not going to go over anything on Instagram with you. I'm willing to just, as a sign of good faith, I'm willing to just put that to the side. If you're going to help me actually just.
So I'm not a help because I don't know.
Okay, well
That's on my head.
Well, that's where I'm gonna stop you right there, because, again, like, Jace, look, like I said, I'll be transparent with you. As soon as you give out your phone number, you know, I can just go on Telegram and add you as a contact. I can just go on Telegram, add you as a contact, see when you're online, and I see you're online like every day almost. So like, that's not gonna really fly, okay? If I'm gonna show you the utmost respect of just saying, hey, dude, let's kind of we can kind of look over this while holding you accountable. I'm okay. I'm not going to say
Instagram stuff.
that's correct. A lot of it is, yes. But
And you're with Instagram?
no.
With the child support, child what protection?
Hey, Kid Protectors USA. Yeah.
Okay.
And
so you're trying to protect him, or you're trying to protect him from getting other kids, or what?
all of the above. All of the
Okay.
above. You know, like I said, if he was 50 doing this,
Yeah,
there's really,
yeah, I know
there's
there
really
is a
no. Yeah, there is a
difference.
difference. Yeah,
I totally
there is a
agree,
difference. But you know,
it's not enough of a difference. An adult is an adult.
correct, and that's what he needs to realize too. And you know, Jace, it's not about like, oh, well, they're getting me to say this and that. Jace, you said everything here. Okay, you said everything here. And yeah, guess what? We already have your Facebook screenshotted. It's the same profile as Instagram, so we have that already. I did not have to come here and talk to you. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. I'd rather be pointed in the direction of actual bad people doing bad things, and you're a good person who's getting caught up in a world you actually don't want to be in. I can see it in your eyes.
Totally,
You don't,
totally. That's what I feel.
right, and you don't want to be a part of this type of stuff. You don't. I can see it in your eyes, dude. It eats at you, man. I can see it. I can see it. I mean,
totally agree. I think too.
yeah. I mean, we can have the conversation here. If you're more comfortable sitting down, it's cool with me. I mean,
Oh, do you not have?
I mean,
I would say.
I don't get. I'm a polar bear.
Well, I don't. Livia's not gonna notice.
Okay, that's cool.
Livia, what are you doing by the plan? Oh, you're not. Yeah, what are you doing by the plan?
I just want you to help me point me in the right direction, man. Sure. Now it's all about serving Callaway County. This isn't just about Callaway County anymore. This isn't just putting out fires. This is stopping a whole. Never burn. Never. This online stuff with what these people are doing. It's a flame that never goes out, but it's a flame that you're going to help kind of relinquish a little bit. You're going to help die down. Just that small part, okay? This is you putting out a fire right now. The fire, yeah, it's kind of hit you a little bit, okay? But a lot of people, you're burning right now. But did you light the flame? Did you create the match? No, you did not. Okay, the real arsonist got you into it. Okay, now you need to spray them out, get them out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like I said, I'll put these up, man. I'll put them up. I just want to know, like, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask you. How did you find out? Fall down the rabbit hole. It's not about you. It's about how about you use your situation to help me find other people. So, I mean, yeah, your experience might have to be used. Like, I mean, I hate to call it an expertise, but you know more about it than I do when it comes to this Telegram stuff or Signal, Wicker, whatever the heck they're using. That's what I want to know, man. Like, because yeah, I'm just an idiot at your door, but there are actually people that work with me, have my back, that can actually take what you say and actually use it to go find these people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to ask you anything about you, okay? If that's what you're concerned about, I'm not going to ask you anything about you. I'm only going to ask about what they're doing, okay? Can we agree with that?
Not catching on. Being able to agree.
I'm not going to ask you. Well, why are you doing this? I'm going to ask what they're doing.
Do you have like a badge or a,
No, I'm not law enforcement.
like, I don't really see that he needs to be giving out names of other people and things like that. Is that what you're after?
If he can, sure. But these other people would sell them out in a second.
Yeah.
How do you know they haven't already?
Well, I believe they probably have. I mean, it's not anything to tangle with. The internet, Instagram, Telegram, all that stuff isn't anything to tangle with, and I've told him that for years.
Right.
But I don't.
Well, it's time for him to put out the fires that
I
have
feel
been taken.
uncomfortable with this whole situation because I don't really know who you are exactly.
Well, I'm Gordon Flowers. That's like me.
But, like, how do I know that you're not an Instagram, Telegram, and somebody that's trying to get him?
Because I'm here right now explaining to you that, like, he's 21 years old. If it was about getting him, it wouldn't be me knocking on the door. It wouldn't be me knocking on the door, and I wouldn't have to come into the county to to get him. I'd have to just be in
You're
the city.
from Houston, you say?
Originally.
You've driven all the way here from Houston
That's
to
correct.
talk to Jace?
There's some other people we talk to, and we handle each situation differently. There are some truly bad people that I think don't deserve this talk, and where it's just, all right, well. But I'm more.
Like, is he, like,
Is that your dad there? Or?
no, it's his little sister.
Okay.
I think that he has his dad. Do you mind that he's his dad from you?
Oh, that's fine. I don't care.
Would that be okay, Grace? If I call Dad? So I think we really need to do it here.
You like at work or something, or?
The office. So can we get Mark to come here and
Sure.
just hang on a bit? You know, I don't know. Yeah, we'll just call him and you can wait however you want to wait.
Well, yeah, I'd rather just stand out here with y'all, if y'all don't mind.
I'll go get my phone then.
Ma'am,
Yes.
do you mind? I'm not going to ask Jason if he's worried about that, but just for my safety, because he mentioned that he is. I'm like, how many is on me? Just for my safety, do you mind if he just stands out here with me? Because
Okay, we'll
I'm
just
not doing anything until I have someone else.
Hey,
No. I'm not talking to anybody without from.
well, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm just wondering if you could just stand outside just for my safety. 'Cause
it's fine. I'll just call him here. I just didn't know.
okay, no problem. No problem.
Can you go take a video with our brothers? That'd be good. Yes.
Do you want to text him something here?
Let's call him back. Somebody's on the phone, and if I do enough times, then
Sure.
it's simpler. That's fine. What? Okay, I messaged him.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm not going to go over the Instagram chat, so that's not going to make him comfortable. That's if he feels kind of iffy about that.
Okay, so what I'm trying to get at here is that you're offering him to not go over the Instagram chat if he would reveal to you some other situations that he knows about on Telegram, right? That's what I'm getting.
It's talking. What they do is they try to make you say, oh yeah, blah, blah, I did this and this and this. And then they try to film it all, and then they call the cops and act all nice about it, and then they call the cops.
Well, Jace, that's something that I can't stress enough. We didn't have to come here. We didn't have to come here. Jace, the months and months and months and months and months and months and months of stuff.
Did
Jace,
anybody warn you before this?
What do you mean, warn me?
Warn you about this? That you were on Instagram posting things you shouldn't have and reporting it and all that.
What do you mean?
Have you been talked to about this before? By somebody? Either online or otherwise? So this is the first time you've known about it, that you shouldn't be doing this?
What do you mean?
Has this agency talked to you before?
well, no. No.
Is there any other agency that's talked to you before? Well, you don't know if you've been talked to before?
Not besides the WhatsApp face that we talked to.
You mean the counselor? Okay, but I mean an agency that comes to warn you about things.
Well, I'll just say this. I don't think kind of the vibe that I get, especially being that he is so young. Like, Jace, I don't think you need trouble. I really think maybe you need some help for this. And, basically, the thing is, I want this to be stopped.
I do too.
I want him to stop.
I absolutely.
I just want the best solution.
Is it like with little kids? I mean,
Yeah. And, you know, it's not just 16 or 17-year-old. It's like,
Little kids.
yep.
Pictures of little kids? Like ones that we know? Huh?
Yeah.
Don't worry. You don't know if... Okay.
It goes pretty deep. So that's why
Can I look at them?
that specifically, I mean, if that's something Jace is comfortable with, I don't know. It's his deal. He's also an adult, but like,
Does that belong to Jace or to you?
it belongs to me. It belongs to me. But, you know, get out of respect for him. You know, it's also,
Are we posting things about little kids that we know of? You know the little kids?
and that,
Little kids that you know?
well, so that's the thing. In the end, it's just something that needs to be stopped on his end, of course, and then he can also help me stop actual people who just take this not only online, but that do the stuff in person, who produce this type of stuff. You know what I mean? And that's what I think, dude. Yeah, there's some people that do this that need some trouble. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can agree with that. But there's also people that just need some help and diversion. And at 21, if your brain's not developing until 25, at 21, there's still a way to divert from this, okay? But I know what he's talking about. Yeah, get him in this, say this and that. Then that's what you see online. That's not what actually always happens in person. There's a difference because, you know, we take a movie, for example. There's so much B-roll footage that never gets posted, you know? You only see what people want to show you. I'm not saying you only see what people want to show you. So that's what I'm saying,
That's
Jace.
true.
Right.
I mean, like, I don't want to see all that stuff, so I never go on it.
Right.
I don't even have Instagram because I don't want to see it.
Right. There's diversions to everything, okay? I'm more concerned about saving actual kids than somebody, you know, saving kids on their phone, if you catch my drift. But you know, I'm more concerned about like what's going on with these other people sucking you in, because as far as I know, Jace, you didn't create the Telegram app. You weren't the one that started this whole trend on Telegram. So that's what I'm saying, Jace. If there's a totem pole of this, we have a lot of people up there, and you're at the very bottom, if even on the totem pole at all. And you kind of need to get off the totem pole. So
It's just really not something that is worth getting involved in.
but yeah, exactly. I agree. But there is involvement already. There's involvement that we have saved already. There's involvement that we have saved that's never going to go away already. But, you know, but like I said, he's 21. I came here to just talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Came here to just talk to
Oh,
him.
well, I appreciate that.
I appreciate you having a conversation. But, you know, Jace, it's time to face adversity, man. It's time to face adversity. This is the Callaway County's not going to know about this, but this is the biggest fire you're ever going to put out in your life right now. There's going to be no thing that's burning that could burn you alive, that could burn everybody else alive, than right here, right now. And you know that. This is the fire that you need to put out. Because when you put this fire out, every other fire is going to be easy to you. This is the fire that's been consuming your life for the past couple of years. And you know it's been the past couple of years. This is a fire that's been consuming your life since even before you were 18. Before you even decided to be a fireman. Before you even wanted to be a fireman. This has been the fire consuming your life. And this is the fire that you just never put out. But now it's time to put it out. I'm here to help you put it out. I'm here to help put it out. You know, obviously you haven't given me a single smidge of nothing from these people on Telegram. But I'm still here talking to you because I care about you enough to actually talk to you. If this was anybody else, Jace, I promise you, if it was 15 minutes of this, I would have just been like, all right, well, hey, I appreciate the talk, but we're just going to get out of here and we're going to figure something else out. But you're 21. You have a bright future ahead of you, okay? You're a fireman. Don't let your whole life go up in flames. You are at a fork in the road right now, okay? You put out this fire, you put out a lot more fires after this. But if you never put this fire out, you know how fires are. They keep going and going and going and going and going until someone puts it out. It's not too late to put this fire out. But if you wait even one more day, it could be too late. You never know. It could be the next day, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have any ideas what? Okay, so you said it could be put out like what is going on? What kind of counseling does he need?
What kind of counseling does he need?
Yeah.
Does he see somebody right now? Or you said your first time was going to be February
Well,
1st, right?
I don't know. So should go with it later first.
Well, that's when ours is, but I don't know that you've scheduled him.
Well, I didn't know.
Was it under his insurance or?
We don't have insurance for it.
Oh, shouldn't health insurance cover that, or just that's not part of y'all's thing? Okay.
Well, no, it's just that his health insurance when he was 21, well, we adopted him through foster care, and his health insurance up till then covered. Then he got 21, and they
He still y'all adopted. He's foster kid.
no, we adopted him.
Well, okay. Well, thanks for what you do too. I mean, you raise a firefighter. I mean, that's definitely not something. It's definitely something to be proud of.
A lot more than that. We've got a whole being here that we're trying to help.
Yeah, yeah. There. So that could be. What age did y'all adopt him at?
3.
3. Tough home life, or?
I'd maybe opt out of that question.
Sure. Okay. I got it. You answered my non-answer. I hear you. So, yeah. So maybe there's some trauma from when he was such a young age. It could.
I would say.
That could be the reason why he's maybe acting out online or whatever. So Jace, you really weren't born like this at all. You know, this is a lot of trauma coming out. There's a lot of, and now the whole thing's kind of making sense to me. But it's a whole lot of feelings that you've been suppressing. I get it, man. I get it. Okay. Well, let's put a stop to this then, Jace. Let's put a stop to this. You know, letting something keep burning. I mean, I see it in your eyes, dude. You're miserable. You're miserable right now. You shouldn't be. You have 2 loving parents. You got a great job as a firefighter. I mean, you can go home every night and sleep so well knowing that you kick some butt in the community, that you helped the community, but you're still miserable. There's something going on, man. My car just does that noise. I don't know why, but there's something there that's biting at you, and it's obviously this. It's a whole double life that these people are sucking you into. Let's get out of it, then. Let's get out of it, Jace.
Like, there's higher up people that are making him do things.
I will say this. They're not making him do anything. But, you know, the same way if you dangle a piece of steak in front of a dog, do you make the dog eat the steak? No. But does the steak get eaten? Yes. So it's kind of like that. It's like online peer pressure in a way. You know what I mean? So, no. He's responsible for his own actions. He had a choice to be a part of any of this, sure. But, again, like, right. But when there's trauma, and when there's feelings coming from that trauma, how you know, everybody acts out in a different way. And usually it's never good. And his way just happens to be like this. And that happens to be something that I look online for, and that happens to be what brings me here today. But, again, every situation is different. This isn't like, you know, this isn't the defender who his granddaughters and now is doing this stuff again. This is a guy who has a bright future ahead of him, who's been dealt at first a very bad hand, but now a great hand because he lives with you guys, but who's been dealt a mixed hand in life, who's just had pretty rough patches. But he needs to punch adversity in the face right now. He needs to put that fire out. He needs to put that fire out because, man, it's not even like, oh, well, yeah, now this part's over my life. Now everything's good. I'm fine. It's more like this builds character that he's going to take years down the line. Because, yeah, sure, it's not like, I don't expect him when he's like 40 or 30 getting married to say, before I get married, by the way, somebody came in my door about some stuff I was doing online. I don't expect him to do that. But I expect him, Jace, I expect you to take that character you're going to learn from today and apply that to everything else you do in life. Do you understand? Do you understand me? Okay. Do you understand, Jace, this is the biggest fire that you need to put out right now? That the whole city of Murray could be burning down, and that this would still be a bigger fire in your life than anything they could give you at work. Do you understand that? It's yes sir or no sir. Do you understand that?
I mean, like,
Do you understand that?
Do you understand this is going to be your biggest flame you have to put out right now? Do you get that? So I'm telling you, Jace, put it out right now. Let's put it out right now. Let's put it out. I get it. You get comfortable with your parents. I was comfortable with my parents too. Sometimes it takes a third party to teach you a lesson, to make you realize that there's been some stuff going on. They love you, but sometimes it takes a third person to come in that's neutral to understand you, okay? Let's get through this, Jace. Did you try calling back?
I tried to call him again. He's not looking at my message.
What was your name, ma'am?
My name is Mindy.
Mindy.
Thank you.
Jace, let's get this done. Mindy can stand outside, ask anything she wants, interrupt me at any time, interrupt you at any time. Okay? But we need to put out a fire right now, okay? I'm not cool with watching fires burn. I'm not some arsonist. I'm not cool with watching somebody who has their whole... Jace, you understand, as someone who's a foster kid, you know how many odds you're overcoming right now by being a firefighter, by not... You know what happens to most foster kids, right?
Not most.
I'm not talking about that, what you're talking about. I'm talking about a lot of them, they don't succeed in life. You are succeeding in life. Despite all your shortcomings, despite...
Not that do succeed. Many.
Sure, but the odds are lower than if you're just, you know what I mean. But right now you're bucking the odds. But you're going to be his stick if we don't put out this fire right now. You're just about to be another person who had so much hope and potential that just wasted it all away because...
I gave up a long time ago.
Huh?
I gave up hope a long time ago, so there's not anymore now.
Oh, yes, there is. You wouldn't be standing here right now if there wasn't hope. You wouldn't be standing here right now. There may not be 100% hope, but there's a sliver of hope there because you're standing here right now. You're standing here right now. You haven't closed the door on me and I haven't heard a pop. That's giving up hope. But you haven't given up hope. You're listening to what I have to say. You know how serious this is, but you're still listening to what I have to say. You're still willing to overcome this. And, despite everything going on in your life, it takes a real man to do that, okay? But now we can't just be a man sometimes. We have to be a man when we sleep. We have to be a man when we pour cereal. Be a man when you put out fires, Jace. Do you understand that? You understand you're not a kid, right? You understand you're not a grown man, because obviously I wouldn't be talking to you this long, and I wouldn't be talking to you maybe even in the first place if you weren't a grown man. If you were like a grown man, like you had, I was going to say look like Mindy, but she looks 18 to me, so.
Yeah, really.
But, this is the fork in your life, man. This is whether you decide to become a man that's just going to be known as just like, who just let it all go, who just had so much potential wasted, or this is become a man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but this is where you become a man where it's like, this is where you become a man, Jace, where it's like, yeah, I conquered something when I was 21, and now I'm going to kick it at the butt for the rest of my life. You understand that? Let's do it, man. Is that out of 10 there? Oh.
Hey. Yeah, hey, we got something going on here that I can't do anything on. So I'll call you back, or I'll message you. Okay, alright. Yeah, I'll message you. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Jace, let's get it done.
Oh, this is your deal.
If you're actually, what I'm going to do, give me 1 second. And Mindy, if you want to look through these and hang on to these, I'll let you do that. I think, Jace, I'm willing to just talk to you man to man. I'm not willing, without a scholastic reading guide there. I'm willing to talk it out man to man. If you're willing to step up and put out this fire, I'm willing to meet you halfway and let's do it. Okay? Yeah, Mindy's going to read these and be pretty pissed at you. But, yeah, I think it's scolding, and I think it's scolding and a reality check's relatively, it's probably just the, you know, that's the least of your worries, right? So, yeah, she's gonna be pretty mad reading those. But I'm willing to talk to you man to man about it. I'm willing to. I don't need no chats, no nothing. I'm willing to talk to you soul to soul, Jace. I'm willing to put out that fire with you. There's nobody else that would do that but me. Okay? I don't care what channels you watch. I don't care what stupid little reels you've seen. I don't care about any of that. I don't care what news articles you've heard about. You need to care about you and fixing this. Okay? And I'm willing to get it done with you. Do you understand? Let's do it, man. I'm not too much older than you, bro. I'm not too much older. But man, let me tell you, just a little bit ago, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I thought, man, I was in a dark place. I was in a dark place. Okay? Sometimes it takes that third party. You know why I'm saying that third party? Because, you know, I'm gonna let you, I had that third party come and fix some stuff for me or help me get some stuff fixed. You know what? That's right. He didn't fix anything to me. He helped me get it fixed. He guided me, okay? You're gonna have to get this fixed, but I'm willing to help you with it, okay? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's not bring this BS to Mandy or to Mindy. Mindy's been there for you your whole life. She's there for you even right now. But this is something. What's Mindy gonna answer for? Do you even know what Telegram is?
Yeah, I have Telegram, but I don't have any bad
Yeah.
chats.
Well, you have Telegram for probably what, political stuff?
Well, I have it for things that we do, like the chats that we sell things on
Sure.
in our community, and
Sure.
we have songs from our church on it.
Your mom's pretty technologically sound, then. My mom
I
didn't
don't
know.
have. I absolutely would never.
Well, of course.
I don't have anything on Telegram that I would be
Of course.
ashamed to show you.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're involved in the church. Jace, if you want to...
Not anymore. Well,
Okay. Well, that's something we probably need to get turned around to,
yeah.
you know? But Jace, you know, even church isn't end all be all, man. It has to come from your heart, your soul. Okay? God hated you. I wouldn't be here right now. I'm not saying, you know, I'm not special. I'm not saying I'm special or anything. I'm not, but, you know, this lesson or this confrontation could have came in many shapes and sizes. It's coming at somebody that wants to help you, that wants to see a 21-year-old succeed, a troubled 21-year-old succeed. Jace, I think the TikTok generation is lost for the most part. I think most 21-year-olds are lost. You're not. You're not. You could think you are, but you're not. You're not. You have too much going on for you. Maybe right now the negatives are overcoming the positives. It happens to everybody. We have days, you know, when my girlfriend, well, she's an ex now. When my ex-girlfriend broke up with me, I had some positive experiences that day, but that day was a negative for me, all right? And you've had a lot of negative days, but now this is going to be the best and worst day of your life. It's going to be the worst day because we're about to talk about some really hard stuff to talk about. But it's going to be the best day because this is where it stops. And this is where going forward, you're not going to be a new man. You're still going to be Jace. But these feelings, these urges aren't going to go away. You know that, right? It's not a simple, okay, I just won't like this anymore. No, right. It's going to be tough. Right. But the mudslide stops and the climb begins. Do you understand that? It's going to do it, dude. You want to just talk inside or do you want to talk outside? What do you want to do, man? I want to have it with you wherever you're most comfortable. Mindy there or not, I don't care. I just wanted this to stop, Jace.
I just really wish it could be with his dad instead of me because I know him.
Yeah. That's probably a sign right now that Jace needs to handle his stuff.
Cameron, you can try calling him, but I don't understand what's going on.
That's probably a sign, Mindy, that he needs to handle his business.
Okay.
Table? Standing?
Table. Come off and with you.
Oh, I'm sure you want to use it.
See if I need or anything.
No, don't think so. I don't really think you're saying.
Do you like play sports or something? He's a pretty big guy. Do you play sports? He's a pretty big guy. Oh. I know. I used to eat defensive lineman size up for lunch though. I was so small. Like him or someone like just taller. I mean, like, you know, it's fun. It's not fun, but I appreciate you being there for him like this. Yeah.
Just
It's tough. Can you check on him to make sure he's not hurting himself, please? Or he's not smashing anything. Just curious, Mindy, how many square feet is this house? It's beautiful.
48 maybe?
Golly,
48. And I don't think that includes porches and
how many acres is this thing?
we've had altogether,
Mm-hmm.
it's 10 acres about.
God, do y'all like grow on here at least, or
What?
y'all like grow on here, or do y'all like plant? Or-
Oh, it's a garden, but basically mow it.
Gosh, man, it's beautiful.
We enjoy it
Yeah, how long have you been living here for?
for 7 years or so.
Dang, y'all got it before everything just went up. Nice. All right, man, let's get it done.
I'm gonna come over with you.
That's totally cool. All right.
So how much of this does get filmed? Can you tell me that?
Well, I mean, you see it's all being recorded here. I'm not saying there should be something in your face, but I told him from the beginning it's all recorded. But that's, yeah, I mean, I'm on y'all's property, and it's very easy for you to say,
No, I don't know if he had. Here? No. Well, yeah, I didn't think so. Well, then what about Lydia? You can bring her along. And of course, in the bed? Yeah. Like that? You know, her mom will be here. For long.
she like a was a neighbor girl here, or
She actually is someone that Cam's been babysitting for the last 5 years.
Oh, nice.
Well, we have an older girl who has started off big things.
cool, cool. Yeah, well, let's go knock it out. Let's make today great. It's already terrible. Can't get any worse, right? All we can do is climb, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Well, dang, now I need a blanket. Now I'm just, so obviously, you know, we've been having some, you know, there's been some issues and right? And, you know, it's obviously something that I think everybody here, including yourself, I mean, like I said, you wouldn't be here talking to me if you had no hope. I think it's something that everybody here wants to see you overcome. And it's not only overcome, but you need to separate from these people because they're crazy. You know they're crazy. Man, if I use any colorful language, just correct me, okay? Sometimes I get carried away. Yeah. But without going into any specific, just so I get a background, when did this stuff all start? Without you specifying anything, we'll just say this stuff. So, you know, that worries you. We'll just say this stuff.
I don't know the right date.
Yeah, but like, were you still in high school, middle school, or?
Yeah.
I've talked to people, or not people, just anybody to everybody. It's just kind of on and off.
Okay.
I get really back, really, and then it kind of goes away, and then it comes back, and it goes away, it comes back.
This has been a battle you're fighting with yourself.
I've been fighting all kinds of battles, like,
Okay. But, you know, there can be a lot of battles going on at once, but the war isn't won until each battle's won, right? So, you know, I can't help you with a battle that you might be having at work or something, but I can help you with this battle, right? And then, hey, that makes it a lot more easier. Then you can use whatever troops you're using to fight this battle. You can use it to reinforce yourself with that other battle, right? Less battles are better. Not everything's gonna be fixed today. You know that, okay? Not everything's gonna be fixed in a year from now. But, you know, can the front lines move? Yes. Yes. Until the war's won, right? So that's what I'm kind of trying to like help you understand that, like, yeah, I'm not going to come here with like angel wings and just make everything better, but you know, we're gonna move the ball, right? You ever play sports?
Not because I'm not in school. Otherwise, no.
Okay. Ever like watch sports? Obviously.
Now and then, but not a whole lot.
Okay.
I'm not really a big sports person.
Okay.
I'm not watching it, but I'll play it.
Okay. But you know how football works, right? You got to move the ball.
I don't understand it, but I watch it.
Okay. So you're from rural Kentucky and don't understand how football works?
Holy caught on
Oh, dang. Okay. What sport do you understand?
baseball, pretty much.
Okay.
That's it.
Got it. All right. Well, right now, here's an analogy. Right now, we're 2 outs, 2 strikes, bottom of the 9th. You're down 1 at home plate, and you need to get a home run. Okay. Well, actually, you don't need to hit a home run. You need to at least get on base, and then we can worry about stealing second, getting third. But right, today's about getting on base. Okay. Today's about making sure we're not at 2 strikes. Today's about making sure the game isn't over. Right. So, yeah. So like I told you earlier, I kind of want like some help about basically, you know, we know about Telegram. Are there any other apps that I maybe didn't name or wouldn't know about that you can kind of point me in that direction of people doing that stuff? Or okay, any ones that have ever been advertised?
Not that I know.
It's always been Telegram. Okay. You say pretty much. So is there?
That's the only things I've heard about.
Okay, just Telegram. Okay. Are there any other ones like that you were on where you've just seen people do that type of stuff, or?
Well, I've been randomly sent stuff to me.
Okay.
Some random person will just send me something and like whatever this and send me a link and I don't really know what it is and I'll tap on it and it's something that's whatever. I don't know how to put it. It's like
Yeah, it's like a mystery box kind of. I mean, you play video games? Oh, well, of course you play video games. No, I'm just kidding. I think to make a joke like that. I just like light shit up, dude. I just like light shit up. Mindy, I'm sorry if that was offensive. I just have a very offensive sense of humor. But we get along well, you know. I know how to turn it on and off. Sometimes I can't always turn it off. But yeah, you know, like a mystery box.
He doesn't even need to hear all these things.
Sure.
What I'm saying is he doesn't need to hear all the words.
I know, but you know, mystery box in Call of Duty, right? That's kind of what it is. You open it and you're like, oh, that's a mystery. That's a mystery that got solved, right? Okay, but reason I'm asking, like, were these links or pictures sent on any other apps besides like, I mean, I know Instagram obviously, but like Instagram or Telegram, like any other apps that you can kind of point me to where people could be like that?
What about Snapchat?
I've never had any of those.
Okay, Snapchat's been PG-13 and down.
What's that?
Like Snapchat's been like nothing that gets you in hot water, pretty much. Okay. So I guess the hot water apps would be just Telegram, Instagram.
Telegram, I know there's not just me, but there's other people that talk about it too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I figured. That's why I want you to point me in that direction, right? So is there any other apps besides? So maybe you didn't get the question, and maybe you did, but maybe I'm just being redundant here. But are there any other apps besides Telegram where they talk about that type of stuff, like Telegram, Instagram, but like besides any of those two, that in your experience that you know? Okay. So.
The only links I've ever got sent to me are on Telegram. So.
Okay. Anything they sent you on Instagram?
I've never had it.
Okay. So basically, if you were in my shoes and you know, you have a phone and you have an undercover account, and I want to find people that basically take pictures of little kids and send them around, you would point me to Telegram for that. Okay. So, all right. Would you say it's gotten more frequent? Like, has there been a point in time where it's more frequent than others? Like, or is it getting worse and worse? Or do you think it's died down? Like, what do you think? People kind of sending or talking about that type of stuff?
Randomly.
Just randomly?
All of a sudden, this unknown person will send me something or
Okay.
ask me something that kind of turns me off. Or
Sure. So it's basically, it's this seems like, I could be wrong here, but this seems like a world where it's like you're getting hit with all of these temptations. Sometimes you fall for it, sometimes you don't, but you're just getting thrown at it. It's getting thrown at you.
One time, I don't think Shara told me about, but there's one that I don't know who it was. Somehow they had a picture of my face, videoed it or something somehow through my camera or something, and they said they were going to come to me if I didn't send them money and stuff like that. So,
What the hell? Did you send them the money?
well, I was young enough that I did.
Oh.
Or not young enough, but I was,
Hey.
well, I didn't understand what they were talking about.
Yeah. How much, just curious, how much money was it?
Like $200 or something.
All right.
But they had everything. They had everything about me. They knew everything, where I worked, who I was.
How long ago was this? This was like,
Probably 34 or 5 years ago.
so you were still working in high school? Nice, dude. See, that tells me you actually are somebody who, like, despite all the BS happening in your life, you are somebody that actually gets up and, basically you're in a dark place, but you don't fully let life kick you in the butt. You actually try, dude. The fact that you try means there's hope. The fact that you try means you have hope. You're not thinking when you go to the fire department, oh my God, I have a sliver of hope now. But it's in there because you wouldn't be going to the fire department putting out fires for the community. I mean, you suit up and just put out the fires and stuff?
I'm sorry to rescue people.
There you go.
Threats.
Yeah. So you save people from. Now it's time to save yourself, dude. Now it's time to finally, you've done stuff for other people your whole life, dude.
I've seen some stuff that you can't unsee.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? No, that job isn't for everybody, but you stepped up and do it, man. Those people are going to be forever grateful for you. And you know what, Jace? And that's why I appreciate you putting out this fire today, or at least starting the process. Just think about this, Jace. If this fire isn't put out, think about that person who's not going to have you there to save them. Think about that person who's going to burn alive in that house because you're not there to put out that fire. Just think, when this stuff gets unearthed that we're talking about here, just think about how many lives you're saving by this. Yes, when you tell me about Telegram, you're not directly saving the old lady down the street. Duh, obviously. But the butterfly effect, man, just think. We get this part taken care of in your life. Just think, man. Just think about how many people you're going to save now. Just think, because this could have gone two ways. This could have gone to where, boom, that's it. To where I'd be calling you to where I could be calling you a former firefighter. But now, dude, look, just think about how many people you're saving by doing this, dude. I mean, it's a lot to think about, but it's true. It's true. I mean, you see what I'm saying here, Mindy? I mean,
Definitely.
hell yeah. So, sorry. God, Mindy, you're gonna be in more trouble than he is at this point. She always like this, always just telling you to not curse.
I try not to do it.
God, I mean, I just feel her. I don't even need to be brown. I just feel her wrath when she like. Yeah, I know.
I'm not real.
No, but like I feel
I'm not even gonna be angry at him for any of this stuff. It's only that I love the Lord and I really want Jace to love the Lord, and I don't really like to hear.
Oh, it's
ugly,
trouble.
nasty
It's ugly and nasty, but it's adversity, right? It's adversity. I mean, it's a struggle.
things.
Exactly. But he's making it better right now. So, okay. So, you come in my shoes. You're trying to go find the bad guys here. You're gonna go to Telegram. Okay. So are these individuals? Are they sending this type of stuff in groups, or is individual, kind of both, or?
It's to me.
Okay.
It's randomly popped up.
So they just find you randomly, and okay.
I don't know how they do it. So.
Okay, so this isn't like we're all in a group chat here. This is like they randomly find you and they take it upon themselves to send you some stuff. Okay. So this is kind of where it could get tricky because, obviously we want to go after those guys doing that, right? Because that's the levels to it here.
Most likely they're all probably from foreign countries, probably.
Really?
I don't know for sure, but that's my guess.
What languages are they speaking to you?
They don't speak. All they do is send a link. Or they send something that had been from somebody else, I think. I don't know for sure.
What do you mean by sending something that's been from somebody
Well, I
else?
think it's like been passed down. Like they get the link, they get stuff, and they send it on.
Oh, like a forward type deal. Okay.
It's not.
Like it's basically the hot potato with these type of stuff. Okay, got it.
This beyond my head. Like I don't know who's the big dog behind it. So.
But true. But if we can narrow down some times and, we can, because the frequency is pretty high with this type of stuff, but if we can narrow down some times, we can find that big dog. Yeah, there's a lot of people, I'm sure, they're just like, you have a leaf, you give the leaf to me, I give the leaf to you. There's probably a lot of that happening. But, if we can find even one, Jace, I mean, think about that, dude. Think about that. And the comfort, well, I would say the comfort right now, it's pretty cold out. But, at your own home, you could probably just save a kid. They're not going to even know you saved them. But you know who's watching? God's watching. God's watching. So, I mean, that's powerful stuff, man. Okay. So, is the stuff they're sending predominantly, is it more like boys or girls or both or?
Everything beyond.
Oh, so you're one of those people that believes in more than two genders?
No.
Okay, so it's like.
I respect people, whatever they choose to be.
Right, but I mean, but like, is it stuff like, is it more boys or more girls, you think?
I didn't take none of this.
Okay. Is it like both? Okay. So it's like, there's not one in particular, they just send whatever and whatever? Wait, what?
Usually I find out what it is, I delete them.
Okay.
Because if I don't, then I just keep getting them. So.
Sure. Oh, it's like a snowball effect. Like if you participate anyway, more comes your way. But
if you add one person on Snap, you're gonna add a bot, then a whole bunch of bots are gonna keep adding it.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean exactly. So these links that they're sending, what do they typically say, or what are they called?
This bunch of letters.
Bunch of letters. Okay.
Any specific handwriting.
Okay. So when a link gets opened up, is it like what's usually shown? Like, are these like videos, pictures, both? Like, what's kind of going on with these links?
That to that, just different every time.
Different every time.
Different links, different. Okay,
so it's not when you get a link, this is going to be a picture or this is going to be a video. It could be pictures or videos. Okay. Are these links with like? Are these? When I say media files, just think like media could mean picture or video. Are these links like multiple media files, or is it just one? Like basically, if we were to take a selfie together like this, that'd be one media file. But if we were to take a selfie like this, and then if we were to take like a video saying, "Hey, we're in Kentucky," ha ha ha. If we were to do that, that'd be two media files. So we have the picture and the video.
Oh, okay.
So like, are these links with like multiple media files, or some of them have one? Like, how does it? Okay.
It's not the same every time.
Sure. So I kind of want to gauge like what these people are doing, like how deep it goes. What's the biggest media file? Like how many pictures or videos or how many media files do you think was the biggest one someone tried to send your way?
I think the most that I've sent me was probably 3 at a time.
3 at a time. Okay.
Hello?
Go wait for her or get her.
Well,
All right, man. You cool? Cool, man. I appreciate your honesty, dog. Got it. Are any of these media files called like a mega, anything like that?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I don't know. Like a mega.
They're like a mega link.
Is that like a big link or what's?
Is that a what?
Is that like a big link or what's a mega link? Or that name or something? Or?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I know of.
Okay. So the links have been just kind of other stuff, or they've been called other stuff. Okay.
They're not a link to it. It's a bunch of weird characters or something.
Sure. Are those characters always in English, or are they something else?
No,
Or?
they're both
Really?
English. Not zombie language too. So.
Yeah. Are you originally like? Because I know some people adopt sometimes from like Russia, or are you like American, or are you just like from another country, or? Oh, nice.
Or white.
Got it. I was just curious. So what languages have you come across with these types of people? Like any specific ones? But,
I don't even know what they are.
okay.
So I can't say anything because I don't know what they are.
Well, here's a good question. Does it look like? Is it the American alphabet? Like you know, Spanish is like it still has the A E I O U and all that stuff. Like, have you seen languages where it's just not even English letters or American letters?
But
Okay.
some of it could be words, some of it could be letters put together, and it's
Okay. So you've seen some stuff that you can't even comprehend reading.
I don't even know yet.
Okay. Got it. So that's probably why you said most of it's coming from overseas. Okay, that makes sense. Interesting. So about so obviously I know it's tough, but like how sick are these people that are sending this stuff? Like, do they have any limits of what they're sending or anything, or
They have limits for what?
like do they have any limits to where like? Because yeah, obviously like there's a difference between, you know, a 17-year-old showing her and sorry, Mandy, a 17-year-old showing her cleavage versus, you know, even an 11-year-old, you know, all the way down. Like, do they have any limits, or have they sent just everything and everything? Really? These people are really that bad on there? Because I just heard like, yeah, they're into little kids, but you know, you go up to that house right
Well,
there.
you don't know what it is until you open it.
Right.
And then
Right.
that's where it gets me. Once I open it, and it's like, I open.
Right. Okay. So the mystery links that have been opened on your end, there's been no limits to what they put on there. Wow. It's like when you know, so I've already go to that house right there and be like, hey, you know, this little kid's lost. I'll be like, what? How old is she? Like 14, 13? But we're talking here like, I mean, are these people putting like even like infant dollars on these links?
Do what?
Like, you know, because you know when you go up there, you know,
Babies and toddlers that are being put on there.
I don't know. Half the time they don't show their face.
But you can't tell if it's a little body or a big one.
Yeah, I guess that's a good question. Like, well, what is if you had to guess, like, what's the youngest looking body you've seen in one of these links or photos? Obviously, that someone else has sent and taken, but
We say, just guessing.
Sure.
I don't know for sure.
Sure.
Probably, what, 13.
13, 14. Okay,
This way, guess.
sure. So are these like, and these are like videos, pictures, both, whatever. Okay. So on these, I guess, you know, because there's, if you say this is happening kind of a lot, like what's kind of like what's the average thing going on, these like pictures of these 13, 14-year-olds or these videos of them? Like what's the average thing they're kind of sending or they're kind of into here?
What do you mean, like, put your...
Like basically you said, you know, some 13, 14-year-olds pop up. What are these sickos sending of them? Like what's their kind of thing that they're into? They're sending your way there.
stuff that doesn't be talked about.
Okay, so like stuff. Is it like? This is kind of a big distinction here. Is it like? Has anybody sent you stuff of like did it look like forceful or was it like consensual? Like I guess not consensual. But was it like did it look like the 13, 14-year-olds were getting hurt, or did it look like?
No, they're getting hurt at all.
Okay, how did they look then?
Just a normal person.
Really? Just okay. Was this like only so is this like these so were these bozos putting on these links, like these teens like having and stuff? Or like having
I didn't watch them all because I probably seen one or two and then got out of it. So
okay.
threw it once.
So you didn't get too carried away there. Okay. So the two that you did see, these were like, and again, like this isn't you behind the camera, this isn't you sending it, this is only you kind of helping me try to track where this is coming from, because I'm gonna ask you some other questions after this, but But the two that you did see, this was like a 13, 14-year-old like having sex with somebody. Okay. Wait, you said no? You said no? You said it was a 13, 14-year-old having? Okay. What was... What was... Well, okay, so who is... Obviously, I know you're not going to know the names, but was this like a 13-year-old girl or a 13-year-old boy in the video?
Both.
Both? Okay. Uh, so was the person having sex with them an adult or a kid?
No, they were blurred.
They were blurred. What do you mean by blurred? Like,
So you can see
okay,
like the whole person was, whatever you call it, edited on YouTube or whatever and whatever.
okay. Oh, I see. So, but okay. So let's put it this way: was the person having sex with them with them? Was it also? Was it like a? Was it opposite? Was it like opposites? Like, if it was a 13-year-old girl, was it like a guy having sex with her? Or was it another woman having sex with her?
I think mostly guys.
Okay. Okay, so it wasn't it was so it was this, not Mindy's having a heart attack there, that, but I know. Okay, got it. So this is the part where we kind of move the goalpost here, Jace. Obviously, if you see there's multiple videos, there's probably going to be different races, but what race typically pops up the most?
I'm aside from Indian, Chinese, to Mexican to.
Oh my God, I'm shocked. No, I'm just kidding. I'm obviously not. But okay, so basically,
I don't think it was ever white.
really, almost never white.
I don't think it was ever white.
Never. So
Not unless they had tanner skin or something.
yeah, unless there were some Italians. Yeah. So okay, so if we're gonna, and again, obviously this is out of my range because I'm not going to apply to India, but there's people that we can get in touch with that actually can do something about this. So it's mostly like this isn't stuff happening in the USA. This is stuff from
my knowledge.
right. So this is stuff happening, and God knows where. But then it's just being just kind of collected and sent your way and other people's ways, kind of. Okay, I hear you. Interesting stuff, man. Wow, that's.
Hey, that's pumpkin.
Mine is. How's it going, sir?
Working it.
We've been already.
Sure. How's it going, sir?
Mark?
Gordon Flowers.
Gordon Flowers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hear how you do it, but just explaining this.
Sure. Jace, just correct me if I'm wrong here, okay? I'm not going to say anything that isn't true. Basically, Jace has been online the past couple years, and he has been involved in some stuff that's probably not the most appropriate, to put it lightly. And I don't mean just looking at some online. I mean, you know what I mean here. Like, basically, a lot of younger ladies and guys under 18. And there's these guys online that, kind of are involving him in some stuff where they're kind of sending videos his way of that type of stuff happening. And, again, I promised him we won't go over that, but Jace has also talked to younger ladies under 18 in a way. And that's what we're getting addressed. But, I understand he's also 21 years old. He also is doing good in life. Like, he's a firefighter, and that's stuff that's important to take into consideration here. And I'm from Kid Protectors USA. We just make sure.
Good for what?
It's Kid Protectors USA. Like, I'm just private.
Kid Protection USA.
Kid Protectors USA. I'm just a private guy here. But, you know, it's an important distinction because, you know, he's obviously not the guy. I mean, he was just telling me, like, these videos they were sending him look all foreign, like, you know, brown Indian, that type of stuff. And it's important to realize that, you know, he's not the one producing them. He's not the one behind the camera on them. He's just, you know, he's just, like I told him earlier, there's a totem pole, and he's either at the very bottom or slightly off the totem pole, but he's too close to it for comfort, if you catch my drift. So, so how did, at least in your experience, how did you get kind of introduced to Telegram? The reason I'm asking that is because I can replicate what you say, and then I can now understand that, hey, maybe if we nipped the roots in the bud of how this even is a thing in the first place, you know, because obviously there's a bridge to Telegram, because, you know, even when I got Telegram,
You heard about Telegram? Or?
yeah, like how did it get it? Like how did, yeah.
Just because all our people go to church and all of them have it.
Okay. So I guess when did Telegram from church stuff into, you know, that other stuff?
Probably a month after I got it.
Really, that quick?
Actually, our church just a while back, they issued a warning about Telegram, you know.
Just around your shoulders at least.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh. Here, let me put my sleeves on here. That is so sweet. What you call it?
Find something rewarding where you can help people is worth more than any kind of.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, if somebody offered me double to be cigarettes for a living, I'd tell them to piss off.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, that's what I was saying with him. Like, you know, he's a firefighter. So you obviously some guy who just is self-centered and, you know, doesn't want to help the community here, you know? Dang it, Mindy, I ate too much food growing up. And I can't fit this. All right.
Just
I just figured it'd help something.
Yeah, I just ate too much Taco Bell. I tried to play tight end in high school. And my coach was like, you ate your years ago. I could catch better than all the receivers. But, you know, that would be a longer conversation than this. Whatever. I'm not going to look back on that. But, anyway, leave. All right, yeah, I'll just go with that. So basically, they've been sucking you into this world for then like 4 or 5 years at this point.
I've had it for 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
I've had it for probably a year and a half.
Year and a half. Okay. So like a little bit before 2023 then?
When did I give him on to him?
You're on
Well,
phone.
that's the one I bought.
Because before that, we had a strong, with or whatever.
somewhat locked down on
Yeah, we
it.
had it long.
Oh.
And we offered to buy him a new phone, but he didn't want to take us up on it. He wanted to get his own rather. So,
This is pretty much when you got your new phone.
but
Yeah, and I don't know when
to buy the new phone was with the understanding that we could look at it anytime we wanted to.
Yeah, if we bought the phone, then we were gonna have a little bit more
Oh, I see.
accountability.
Right. There we go. That's something.
And so since we didn't really have the accountability, we didn't.
I see.
Right, Vince?
That makes sense.
Hello. I'm here.
Yeah. All right. So basically, a year and a half of kind of the BS happening.
Not a year and a half. It's probably a year.
A year. Okay.
Then it's right after.
It started right after you got.
It didn't.
It didn't start right after you got the phone. Okay. So is there anything that maybe introduced you to that world? Like, was there anything on another app that led you to Telegram for that world, or was it just kind of
It just popped up.
okay?
I didn't even know about it till after it came.
People just started sending that stuff. Okay. So, is this something you've been able to just like prevent from happening, or does it just keep happening?
You can't stop unless
Really?
you delete the whole app.
But there's other stuff on there you like to do, so I'm sure.
I really don't need it. I'm being honest.
Okay. So you just kind of haven't acted on it then. You just kind of like it's just kind of been a fact of life then.
Well, we have chats that were, what do you call them?
Song chat.
Or whatever. They just send like inspirational songs on them or whatever. And so
I'll put it on my head here. Sweet. Oh, shoot. So that's why
Okay.
I'm just use it as I'm gonna use it as a hand warmer. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, there, get you comfortable. Okay. So basically, so you stayed on Telegram because of like the song stuff, and then the other stuff just keeps happening. And okay.
But for me, when I'm on Telegram, song doesn't do that. I'm not sure what it is for you.
Well, does it come up on the song chats? That's a whole different. Yeah.
You have to do a search on it.
No,
Yeah. No. It'd be like people just find you.
I could like say, I didn't know whoever. I could go, some random person will pop up and I could talk to, or if I already know, explain it.
I guess probably every time that ever happens to me on Telegram, I just ignore it enough and delete it or whatever.
So what's the frequency of what these buttheads do and like send this type of crap?
What do you mean?
Like you said, it's just something that it's not really preventable. So how often is it happening? Like, are these people sending this stuff?
You can go from a week to 3 weeks. It's kind of spasms.
Okay, but it happens at least in a couple times a month.
Probably twice a week, probably.
Twice a week?
Month.
Twice a month? Okay.
There's probably a time or two that probably happen.
Okay. Got it. But you know, if we're factoring in that over a year, that's a pretty
There's a time, little spot that it happened at all 4 months and then it start back up.
or people sending you that type of stuff. Okay.
I'm still confused about that because nobody sends me anything on Telegram. So.
I know, I don't get it either. Nothing like that ever comes up.
Well, I see. So this is where we can really help Jace because, you know, obviously, I mean, you knew at the door, like, and I explained to them what we do. Like, you didn't. I mean, you're a smart guy. I mean, so obviously, as you know, you're not the first person I've talked to, but you're a very unique situation because of your age and because of what you actually do for the community. I'll just be quiet when they walk out. It's totally fine. I'll try.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
See ya. See ya.
Oh, sweet.
See you tomorrow.
You said you want to find them
I was sitting.
or move on?
Such a boy.
Which appointment?
You know, your mind's malleable at this age, especially if you started a year ago when you were 20. Gets less malleable as you age. When you're 25, it stops developing. But
It's what you say, no?
it's malleable to where you can be influenced by stuff you see more so when you're young. You know, that's why there's like a Hitler Youth and stuff like that. You know, so.
No. Yeah. Still.
But you know, like I'm thinking there's more there. And again, like this could be the most embarrassing thing ever to talk about. But you know, you have to understand at this point that all three of us know that this is a world that's sucking you in. This isn't a world you're creating, right? And since you told me it comes from other countries, I'm like, well, but obviously can't come from Murray, Kentucky because they're all, you know, not from you because you're saying they're all wrong. Well, obviously you can't be the one doing it. But you know, obviously when they go over these later, those messages to Lisa were pretty graphic, and Lisa was, and not only Lisa, but you know, a lot of, I'm not gonna say a lot, but a decent number of younger ladies under 18 online. You know, I could go to them and they'll say, yeah, Jace sent me some pretty graphic stuff. You know, I could. And so that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think seeing some stuff on Telegram and these apps, it manipulates your mind to put stuff on paper, to put stuff, well, it ends up being on paper, and it makes you send stuff. But you're doing it yourself, but, you know, it basically plays with your mind to just normalize this type of stuff. You know what I mean? So, you know, Lisa is, you know, in there is 9 years old. Not a 9-year-old. It's not a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, and 9-year-old. Okay, this is a girl you talked on the phone with, and again, I said I'm not going to read everything. I'm not even going to get your confirmation whether it happened or not. It just did, but I'm thinking that on Telegram they're sending some very, 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 very sick stuff, because Jace, you didn't wake up one day wanting to just send a 9-year-old. That didn't happen. You know it didn't happen. I mean, did it happen that way? Where you just wake up one day and want to do that? No, it didn't happen that way. If it did, then I think, if that just happened one day, I think this conversation shouldn't even be had, because I think that's just irredeemable at that point. Because if you just wake up one day and there's nothing that influenced you to do that, then what's the point of even this conversation? You know what I mean? So, just like I'm not sugarcoating with you, let's not sugarcoat what we've seen on Telegram, because basically, that's the real stuff right there. But we need a why for that. We need a why, how this could have been happening, and then flip it around these people actually doing this stuff. So, truly, what on how low does it go on Telegram? I don't think, like, how low are these people sending it? It can't be 13, 14. That's just a crock of baloney.
I don't know how low it is. That's the ones I saw.
You saw more stuff than that. This wouldn't have been possible. That wouldn't have been possible otherwise. So that's why.
It could be lower, but I don't know the age of.
Well, I think there's a big distinction between 13 and 14 and the stuff that they actually sent you. I don't doubt they've sent you stuff at 13 and 14, but, you know, yes, when it gets to a point where it's like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old, yeah, sure, okay.
I don't think it was that low. Not close. Not even.
How low do you think it went then?
I don't think it was even single digits.
That's just not true.
Not still, I got 71 single digits.
Jace, when it's happening multiple times a month.
Okay, maybe it was, but I don't.
But you don't what?
I didn't realize it was whatever. Like, to me, I couldn't tell because they weren't like. They were always in a darker room. They weren't always.
Okay.
You know, lit up, like a lit up environment, or whatever you call it.
Okay.
They weren't in a.
The reason I'm not hearing the full truth here is because maybe your age you get carried away might be the double-digit ages, but this is what I'm trying to help you understand here. Even when you see stuff that you don't like, it could still lower the stuff you do like. So, for example, you know what the Overton window is? Okay, the Overton window is if I say, all right, so put it this way, you know, we're all Christian here. So if I say we're going to ban all transgenderism, we're going to ban every single, you cannot be trans, all the doctors are going to get thrown in jail that do that. We're going to ban it all. And we say that over and over and over again. Eventually, it's going to move to where, okay, transgenderism isn't banned, but now kids can't get hormones, and that's it, right? But you see how the ball still moved. So if you're honestly on there looking for some teenagers, which, again, you're still 21, we can fix that. If you see some really young stuff, it can move that ball to where you're not looking for teenagers, but you may be looking for, there is a 9-year-old right there, because you've seen stuff younger than that. Do you know what I'm saying now? Like basically how
It changes your mind and your.
right, basically how something is so extreme that it moves you a little bit that way, even though it doesn't pull you all the way there, but it moves you in that direction. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. Kind of.
Okay. I'm trying to see how this can like apply to real life here. Like, okay, a happens, man, every single, and then the government gives in and bans just a certain type.
Oh, and then there's other still I've heard.
Right, but the ball moved a little bit that way, right? So if you're on there looking for teens, and then somebody sends you some just ridiculously sick stuff, then maybe you're not into that stuff, but the ball moved to where now you like a little bit younger than teens. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can have it.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out with that Lisa stuff right there, the 9-year-old, because I think you told me you saw 13 and 14 because that's what you were probably looking for. Just to be honest. But I think some people have sent some really low stuff. I mean, you've been to a buffet. I mean, obviously I've been to more buffets than you. Let me look at me. But, you know, you've been to a buffet. You know you pick and choose what you like. And trust me, I've seen the Chinese buffet. I've seen the pepperoni pizzas. And trust me, I don't like that stuff, but I've seen it too many times and it grosses me out. That could have happened to you. But that's what I told you at the beginning. This isn't about you. It is about you, But when I ask you this stuff, this isn't about you. That stuff's about you, but this is not. I need to know what they're sending you because that can help me understand this better. That can help them understand you better. That can help you understand you better, you know? But then it also helps me try to say, oh, Telegram, whoa, okay, well, that's some, now we got to go undercover on there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's embarrassing to say, okay, it is, but we need to know, like, what have they sucked you into, where they're sent, like, how low does it go? What's the youngest you think you've seen?
I don't think anything lower than probably 5.
5 years old. Okay.
If it was, then that's...
Okay. But you see what I mean? You say you've seen a 5-year-old. So maybe you're not chatting up or trying to go pick up any 5-year-olds, but here you are with a 9-year-old now. You see what that could do to you? So that's important. I appreciate your honesty on that, but I think you need to realize that helps you out. That helps you understand yourself better. That, you know, it's like, but it's like, you know, if you suffer from PTSD from war, you see all this stuff, you're going to be, you're more likely, you're more comfortable with doing some things, right? It's a desensitization. You see what I'm saying, parents here?
You're more comfortable doing the younger and younger and younger if you see it more.
Exactly. And that's why we have those right there. That's the byproduct of that. Okay, so this is an important ask here. The youngest you've seen is 5. Where are these being sent? Like, what app is this happening on? All on Telegram. Is there
That's the only thing I've ever got sent though.
Is there anything else besides Telegram? No. Okay. Wow. It's pretty effed up, but you got church stuff on there, and then you got what some other people call church stuff too, but that's how something you said. But not Catholic church stuff. Are you all Catholic? No. Okay. You got church stuff and Catholic church stuff. No, just kidding. But are these like pictures, videos, or both of 5-year-olds?
Mostly pictures.
Mostly pictures? Okay. So you remember what a media file is? Like what a media thing? Okay. So they send you 10 medias of 5-year-olds. How many of them would be pictures? How many of them would be videos? Like what percentage? Best guess.
Probably said that over half pictures.
Over half pictures. So we talking what, 60%, 70%?
Are you talking about 100 or 10%?
Well, basically, was it mostly pictures with some video scattered in? Okay. So this is hard. I'm sorry, Mindy. Forgive me here. This is hard to talk about, but like, I had to ask you to relive this because this is obviously something I don't think you like to watch, but you saw it and we need help. We need to help this kid out. These videos of 5-year-olds, what's typically going on in them?
Just same as
okay.
The older people.
So this is you know, I'm getting specific here because, you know, depending on the answer to this, we're getting into the realm of what's happening to these kids that they're doing, that these people are doing, these kids which you're helping fight. Is it like, are some of these 5-year-olds even having?
Not the ones I've seen.
What's the farthest going with them?
They're just doing stuff to the person. To whoever was.
We're both guys. I mean, all 3 of us are guys. What are they doing to people?
Stuff.
It's like 6 times. Okay. So are these 5-year-old boys or 5-year-old girls? Huh?
Both.
So you've seen some gay 5-year-old stuff? Golly, man. Okay. So I just want to, I mean, I appreciate your honesty on this. You know, I want to revisit, because, yeah, I mean, even on Facebook, you could find like, you know, even on Facebook, you can find like teen stuff, whatever.
I've never seen it on Facebook. So.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's there. But yeah, it's whether you did it or not, whatever. Well, probably not. But wow, man. So I'm only going to ask this, and again, like, I totally understand that answers can change depending on, like, I get it, dude, because it's such a touchy subject that, like, only a sociopath would just spill everything immediately and tell the full truth about everything, which I get. But let's revisit what a megalink is.
Sure.
I want to know I want to know how often megalinks are being sent.
I've never seen a megalink. Like that. The only thing that I saw was some with T.
Some with a T.
You usually start with T, and then ended in think DE. I think that's what the English ones I saw.
D ended in
Or
D.
no, DE or ED. I can't remember which way it was, but something.
What about Dropbox?
Never seen
Okay. So ended in okay. So
the English ones. I don't know about the ones that were in the
Okay.
your thing.
so truly, what's the most you've ever seen on a what's the most, what do you think the most media files ever put on one of these links is that they loaded onto their
Well, I think a lot of us are just previews. You
previews?
had to pay if you actually wanted unlimited
Okay.
or something. I don't know.
This is a big one then. I appreciate you bringing that up. What mediums are they using to charge people? Like,
Think we priced or what?
yeah, price, and then, but what are they charging through? Like, you know, we all have Cash App and
I think any whatever. There's some I don't know, anything you have, Cash App, whatever.
what are some of the things that you've been offered?
Venmo, is it that?
Zelle, Venmo, Zelle.
I think it's,
Okay. Are these people offering to sell this stuff on Telegram or?
that's all it is.
Okay. Okay, so they've asked for Venmo. Okay. How much do they typically tax for that?
Tax or
Yeah, it's just a phrase for charge. Like, how much are they taxing for that?
I don't know, between 0 or 100 to $50,
150. Wait,
or 50 to
50 to 100.
Yeah.
Okay. So, being that you paid 200 to kind of wipe some stuff about you before, you know, and this is I don't think you use some special name here on Venmo or whatever. And again, I'm only asking this because, yeah, if you bought some of this stuff, yeah, it's probably not the best idea. It's not a good idea to buy anything online that's related. Okay, but I think maybe it did. But if you did, I want to know who you bought it from. That's important to know.
about any
No.
stuff.
Okay.
The only thing was that time I talked about that person that tried to whatever with me.
Yeah, I'd just say I'm going to do this to you if you don't pay. Yeah. Do you happen to know any Venmo names of these people by chance?
They never gave me a name of who is it something.
Any like email though or anything? Okay. So so what do they typically say when so sorry, how does it typically go down when they so you say these people are sending you this stuff just out of the blue sometimes here. So
Well, if you get one, you open it and they're gonna say,
ooh, great. Fat people problems. Okay. So you open it and then they send more?
well, it's kind of like the bot thing. You open one.
Right. But there's no child bots. It's not a thing.
Or yeah, no, I'm just.
Oh, but
Like
it's
example.
it's okay, but it's like they act like that. Okay.
Like if you got one, then there's always more coming.
Yeah. So, how many times have they offered to trade with you?
Probably once or twice.
Okay.
I actually tried to trade with me.
Okay. How many times did you oblige and actually trade with them?
Not that. No, never. I remember. Off the top of my head, I don't remember.
That's a load of baloney, and I can explain why it is, or you can just tell me how many times you traded with people.
I never actually traded like the actual stuff,
Mhm.
but there was one time I sent a link. They were
Okay.
trying to threaten me that if I didn't send it. Then
Okay. But you sent a link with that child
if
stuff
I
on
never
it.
actually sent.
You didn't take a file yourself and send it, but you had a link with that stuff on it and sent it.
I
Why?
think it was the same person.
What do you mean?
Well, I think it was some. I don't know how to explain it, but then they
Try your
messaged me-
best.
Then they messaged me back as like, I don't know. It was weird. It was
Okay. Where did you get that link from?
Telegram.
Okay.
It was the same one that they sent me.
So they sent you the same link you sent them?
Well, I don't know if it was to them.
Uh-huh.
It was. They must have been linked somehow.
Okay. But basically, do you think it could have been possible that you got that link from someone else, then you sent it to that guy? Like basically, you give me something, I give her something, she gives you something. Like playing kind of hot potato with it. Is that a way? Or? Okay. Okay. So some other idiot sends you that link. You just take that link and copy paste it to that other guy. Is that what happened?
They say if you don't do it, then
what?
they're gonna come, or not just say kill you, but they're gonna come find you or hunt you down or whatever.
Okay.
Or if you, yeah.
So what was on that link that they were making you send them?
Just this stuff. Children.
Okay. What was the age range? How many media files were on that link?
That was only a preview, so I'm gonna say between 5 and 10. 5 and 10.
Okay. What do the age ranges look like?
Probably, I think the highest is probably 16.
What was the lowest?
Probably 5 or 6.
Okay.
But when I realized what it was, I deleted them. So, or those.
But you knew what it was though.
Yeah.
I mean,
after I opened it, I didn't know what it was before I opened it.
Okay. You're a smart enough guy. I mean, like.
Well, I didn't say what it was until what it was. I know it's like this is kind of weird, but
Okay.
this is really weird.
Yeah, but Jace, nobody's saying I'm going to come find you and if you don't send me a link. I mean, come on, man. That's just
No, if I didn't send that link. They said that if I don't know.
Jace, you knew damn well what it was. Come on, bro.
Yeah, after I opened it, yeah.
Okay, but I'm saying you opened it, then you sent it anyway to them. Okay, so that's kind of what we need to get you out of, right? Okay. Yeah. So, God, I feel like Dr. Phil here, dude. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, nice talking with him, actually.
Dude, I know, right? Wouldn't that be good?
I don't know how to do that.
I don't either. Yeah, you have to go to California.
Is that where he's from?
Yeah. He played college ball at Tulsa. Yeah, Tulsa. You watch football?
Not much.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you nodded in agreement. Like, yeah, Dr. Phil. Okay, I see. Interesting stuff, man. Okay. So now we can understand the symptoms of that happening. Okay. So, I'm gonna give you one, like, let's just kind of clear up the air here, man. I'm not even gonna call it a chance. I'm just gonna call it an air clearing opportunity. So what those are being sent, mega links, whatever the heck they are. This probably is mega links, but there's levels to it. There's levels to this stuff. Like Facebook, you see some see-through stuff of like 15, 16-year-olds, which it's weird, but what guy sitting in a trailer isn't going to look at that stuff? But then you get to Telegram, and if we're in the realm of links, we're in the realm of just anything and everything. So, I hate to be a hard ass here. Sorry, Mindy. I hate to be a hard ass here, but we need to talk about the infants and toddlers, bro. We need to talk about it because, if we're in the world of links, we're in the world of anything and everything. You know that. So, you know a lot here. I know a lot here. There's stuff that we both don't know that the other person knows. That's why we're coming together on this. So, we need to talk about how many times we're sending the infants and toddlers. Because look, if it's a 14-year-old having, yeah, it's wrong, but at least they can comprehend what it is. But babies, it's babies, man. It's babies.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, if you were going into a burning house, which you are right here, this is what this conversation is. You're going into a burning house, you're saving kids. If you were to go into a burning house, and you saw a 14-year-old and a baby, you're saving the baby first. You got to save the baby first because the 14-year-old's a fighting chance on their own. That's what I think about these videos too. It's a shame it happens to any of them, but it's a fighting chance with the older ones, right? So
I don't know, but you're talking about babies, saving babies. We have one house. I don't know how far it was here, but I actually went in there to grab a kid and she blew up on me. The house actually blew up while I was in the house.
Did you save the kid? Thank you for that. You're doing that here. But like I said,
actually thrown to the ground.
Were you holding the kid the whole time? Nice, man. And see, that's the thing. That's the thing. These kids that you're saving, you're helping identify right now, they're never going to know you. It's just like you want, you're just in a mask. You're an anonymous guy doing it. They're not going to, hey, they're not going to, you see those stories, like they come back 20 years later, this guy saved my life, whatever. But, you know, that kid's probably not going to come to you in 20 years and be like, Jace, thank you for saving my life. You just did it. You just did it. They're always going to know you as that guy that did it. And just like these kids, you're going to help identify here as best as you can. I'm not going to say you're going to know little Pajit from India, you know, but you're getting the ball rolling, right? They're going to, when they're eventually freed from those shackles of these traffickers, they're going to thank you. They're not going to thank you for it, but they're going to thank you for it. They're going to know that some way, somehow it started to where they're free. They're going to thank whoever made it happen. You're going to be in there. They're not going to know you. They're not going to know your face. They're not going to know your name. They're not going to know where you're from. But they're going to know, dude. They're going to know. So that's what we need to talk about, these infants and toddlers. I'm just straight up asking, man, because if you bring up links and links and links, then I know where that goes. How often are they sending stuff of like even infants, man? I just want like straight up.
There's probably a pic or two in each link.
Of an infant? Okay. How often are they sending infant videos?
Not much. Once every 20 links.
Once every 20 links?
Yeah.
Okay. What typically happens in the infant videos?
Just the normal, trying to make them.
Oh, see, you're so desensitized to it at this point that when you say the normal stuff happening to infants, we all look at you like, oh, no, it's not normal. But,
Well, it's not normal.
Yeah. But I know what you mean. But like, when you say normal stuff, like you kind of have to explain it to the. I mean, I kind of know what you mean, but you kind of have to explain it to them, like what you mean here with that. So what's happening with the infants?
Trying to make them.
Try to do what?
Make them.
Make the infants. Is this like an adult or kid or
That's adult, I think.
adult? Okay,
That's what it looks like.
got it. Are these infants boys, girls, or what? Both? How can you tell?
You can see it.
Can you see it?
So, no, it's not as easy. Not as the other one. Like, not the other people.
Well, yeah. I mean, clearly you can see an adult better than an infant one. I mean, if you don't look the same, then he probably has some issues there. But okay. But some of these videos it shows the infants. It like it does.
Not all of them, but a few of them.
You can see actually the little. Okay. Wow, man. So let's kind of now let's kind of walk it back a little bit, because you know I was talking about the Overton window earlier, how it can just I don't know what the heck was that. So how some crazy stuff can be thrown one way. You know, I guess this is the best example here. So kind of all right. So if I'm trying to advance, so I have a ball on the end of my fishing hook right here, a baseball or wiffle ball or something. I try to cast it all the way to that house over there. Then the homeowner sees it, and he's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And he throws the ball back, but the ball started here, and he throws the ball back, and the ball's still over there, just not as far. That's what's happening when you see this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now you see what I'm trying to say? So,
Like it's not coming all the way back.
right. It even when you do come back from it, you're still moving further. It's like a graph that kind of moves like, you know what I mean? It's still going up in the end. So, so that's why I'm asking, like, you know, so I'm sure it started these people randomly sending you stuff, but how often now are you trading back with these people? Because it wasn't just once, Jace. I mean, come on, what?
Wow.
Okay.
I caught on to them trying to get my life around. It's really hard.
Okay. How many times do you think you traded?
The only links I did was probably max 5 times.
5 times you traded? Okay. I kind of want to, and you know, without getting too specific, you know, Lisa's Lisa, but yeah, it'd be a lottery. for us to just know about the only younger lady that's trying to talk to you online. If she was the only one at lottery winning odds, we found out about that. I mean, that's just crazy. So I kind of want to know, did the conversations with younger ladies under 18 that start like before or after the Telegram stuff?
Like there's a spot in there that it clicked for a bit, for about a couple of weeks, and then it started back up.
On Telegram? But I mean, like, okay. Have you ever, was it hard to be off of it?
Like,
Like, why do you think you went back? Appreciate it.
Sir.
I can't answer into that.
Sort of just like a demon, just keeps coming at you, huh?
Pretty much.
Wow. So, do you think this is something you need help for? Let's get it, man. Let's get you that help then. So, what I asked a little bit ago was, you know, obviously we have Lisa right there, but did the talking to... Do I have a sugarcoat? I don't have a sugarcoat, do I? When did you start talking to underage girls online, and why?
No one wants to be my friend. Everybody else just thinks I'm I don't know the word to put for it, but...
So that's why you went after underage?
I'm not really going after, but whoever talks to me, I talk to.
Okay, that's fair. What apps have you talked to them on?
Mostly Instagram, and little Telegram.
Okay. How many do you think that you've talked to? If you had to guess.
Probably 20.
20 underage kids, okay. Have you ever met up with any of them? Okay.
Among other.
Fair enough. How many do you think you sent your to?
Ones I can remember, probably only 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Okay. How many of them sent you?
Not very many.
Guess. I don't know. Ballpark.
3, 4.
Okay. What were their age ranges?
Probably between the ages of 9 to any age, 16,
Okay.
15.
So there was a 9-year-old on that line that sent you herself?
Not.
Okay. What did she send?
Was it so?
Huh?
I don't remember, but yeah, I think so.
Okay. Ian. And she was 9 when you did that? Let's be honest.
Well, I think she said it, but then it just don't register in my head. Like, I don't.
Okay. Did you know you probably weren't supposed to be doing that?
About that demon thing.
Right.
It crossed my mind, but then it talks to her, and I'm gonna talk to her.
Okay. How do you...
Dawson caught on that.
Yeah. How often do you...
I haven't looked at it for a while. Pretty recently.
Yeah, but I think you were on Telegram in the past week, so...
Oh yeah, I'm on Telegram, but listen to song.
Okay. Sometimes people, sometimes they send certain links or videos to where they send when it's, as soon as it's open, it saves automatically on your gallery. Maybe
That's not how mine saves. I've never seen it in my gallery.
where does your save?
I don't think it saves at all.
Okay,
I think you just save it manually, I think.
got it.
I'm not sure how that all works.
Sure. How many? So I want to revisit this because this is something that I actually don't have. Groups on Telegram. Is this something you can kind of help me with?
No, it's the only group I ever was.
Yeah, here. Well,
I don't know what this is. I don't know what they're saying. I can't write it on this. I can then read what they're messaging back and forth.
well, I think it's a picture. A picture speaks 1,000. What pictures were being sent in the group?
Well, it was mostly messages. Go to this link.
Okay.
Blah blah blah.
Okay, so it was like a landing page for child. Okay. How many people? So this is what can I kind of help me here? How many people were in that group?
500.
500. All just into the same. Like, has anybody ever accused you of doing something? No accusations. Okay. Any times where this is your coming to Jesus moment here? Any times where you got a little bit carried away and it's happened? No. Have you had urges? No urges in person. Well, that has to be baloney. But what thoughts pop into your mind? Like, I mean, obviously there has to be something. I mean, I can't watch some big Latina. Then I see a big Latina in person. I don't have thoughts. I mean, holy, we're guys, man. I know that feeling. Actually, here's a better question. How often are you just thinking about underage kids?
Not a whole lot. I don't like. You mean like just thinking about them, or like
thinking about them in a way, just like fantasizing about them? Like, how often is this popping through your mind?
only when I see it, then it kind of triggers it. But if I don't look at it for a while, it kind of loses interest.
Okay.
It sparks when I see it again.
Well, obviously, you have to go to a place to see it. It's not like you're driving and print out picture of CP just flies across. What do you think compels you? Okay.
I look at answer for that too.
Sure. Do you think you were as a kid? Like,
I don't know. Never heard.
Okay. I'm gonna get my jacket from the car if you don't mind.
No, that's totally fine.
All right, thanks, bro. I'll be right back. Wait, I have a better idea.
You want to go inside?
I was literally just about to ask that.
Let's go inside. Now that everybody's gone.
Yeah, I was gonna say. All right, hold up.
I sent it to you just the other day. And Dad sent it to you several weeks ago.
Watching Colin.
But
So yeah, I think she's your therapist. She's a Christian counselor from a Harvard Baptist church. I'm not exactly sure
yeah,
what all she does.
Right.
But yeah.
right.
I thought we'd get started pretty quickly. We needed to do something, but
Well, with the therapy, Jace, you have to be. I mean, it appears you went in depth with us. I know there's of course more, but you need to really, really. Like, I mean, I hate to put it this way, but it's a hard thing to say, but, and it has a bad stigma to it, as it should, definitely, but, we can sugarcoat this and that. You don't even have to answer this, but you can only describe what's happening in the infant videos because you watched it, and you saw terrible stuff. And not only that, you do it too, because you know, I'm a guy and I watch. I get what you mean. I get, you know, I get that part of it. But this is but this is something you're gonna have to come to terms with. But again, I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't fixable. It's gonna take years, man. It's gonna take years. I mean, like, this needs to be something that you need to be open with them about it. Like, you need to be.
That's what I was telling him, that, you know, that's really why he was.
Well, that's right there. When I try to open up, I feel judged. So if I try to say something, and I feel like nobody cares, and they think it's a bunch of talking about it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes me go into my own world.
Well, I think that if everybody. But the wrong message is also that it's all your fault. The message needs to be that, yeah, you're the one that has ownership of it, right? Like, we're heading today, you know? Like, okay, all right, well, that's all I have. But, how are you going? But, certain passcodes are used that are like child porn adjacent to every. Basically, if someone has a passcode that's like, you know, 13 and 69, like 13 and 69, like, there's certain combinations are used to kind of indicate, like, you know, wink, wink, nod, nod. But, yeah, man, well, I'm gonna. You mind sharing your number? Yeah, it's fine. It'll be 83. Question on the license number too. Yeah. I mean, you know, when it comes to therapy, I'm not an expert, but, like, you know, I mean, I'll help. Obviously, I'll help any way I can. But, all right, well, in that case, we'll catch you later, Mark. But, yeah, I think it's important that at 21 rather than 30 or 40 to brought y'all's attention to that. And, yeah, Jason, together. All right, right here. Thank you. Enter strangers, leave as friends. All right, thank you. See ya.
Oh, here.
Yeah. See ya.
All right. We're at the police station. Does that say police right there?
Yes.
Okay. And police, so is that a badge?
It looks like it.
So is it fair to say that's law enforcement presence in the video?
It says 911.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So, yes, sir, we're here to turn this in right here, okay? We're turning in evidence of a potential crime that was committed, and we're doing it with the police right here, okay? Just let me know when that gets to like a minute and 10 seconds so we can just make sure it's in the video. Oh, does it say police headquarters right there?
It does.
So that's in this video though, right? So is that not police presence?
Oh, there's another one over there.
Really? Let's go look at it. Wow. Look at all the police presence right there. I mean, that's law enforcement, isn't it? And would you say cops are part of law enforcement? No, they're not.
Oh.
Oh, do you work for YouTube? I'd say cops are part of law enforcement.
Yeah,
okay,
I do.
Two to one.
Yeah,
Two to one. So therefore that's law enforcement presence. That's in line with YouTube's TOS. So anyway, please sub to Rumble and join us on Local so we don't have to do this ridiculous stuff anymore. I'm sick of using this platform. My God, sub to Rumble in the pinned comment. We're gonna go turn it in actually now. Wow. Zoom in on it. Rafilos. Filos, guys. Are those all law enforcement officers? And they're in the video?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I think they're all just fascists.
Yeah. Remember, we gotta put them in the video, but we also have to say they're bad. What about this for these like police badges?
I think so.
These are fines.
Wow. Okay, for you. Okay. And the cop companies feel really
Easter eggs?
We travel around the country posing as like minors online, and online message us from across the country. We're from Houston, but we just travel all over doing this. And there was an individual by the name of messaging us who we believe to be a 13-year-old girl. He said he wants to have sex with her, have fun with her her and her friend and get a hotel room. He never followed through with that, but he was just very the messages. And he said he's talked to other minors online before, and he said that he's on this app called Telegram where he's receiving links to what seemed to be buying pictures of minors and stuff like that. But that's all he would say about Telegram. But we interviewed him at his home, and he admitted to sending all of these messages that were like in nature.